Welcome back. Today I'm listing a number of watches, and this is one that's going to hit the website now, as soon as you see this. This is a really neat little watch. It is a 1974 Seiko 7015-8000, a Dyne-based chronograph, which is a flyback. It's a three-hander, so more of a timer rather than a counter, if you will. It's there to time in 60-second intervals, but it's got a 100 scale on it, which is interesting. So it has this different kind of scale than you would expect from, say, a tachymeter or a 60-second timer. So it's 100. It's like a pulsimeter kind of timer, and so it's a base 100 scale, which is cool. I mean, not that anybody's really going to use this thing as a timer, but it is quite unique in that way. Different, I would say, than what you would see with, say, a Pogue or something else, where you have an insert as a standard tachymeter or a 60-second countdown timer. Anyway, so this is a speed timer. It is a JDM model. It has an English kanji day wheel. The case and the bracelet are original and in their original state, high polished size with nice brushing nearby. I've installed a new old stock crystal on this, so this is a Seiko crystal from this era that has been installed. Case back shows very clean. Again, December 1974, horseshoe back 7015-8000. It's on its original 5 Sports bracelet. Those cool highlights and brushing. It has this interesting, I've seen these on a few of these style of watches from Asia and around the world, where they have this extendo clasp extender. It fits my 7.5-inch wrist just as is. I think I'm going to leave that extender on there because it's such a nice little feature. It's kind of fun. But again, a great little watch. It's been fully serviced. This was suffering from a few things. It had a bad chronograph wheel that I have now replaced with a new old stock from my stock, which turned out really nice. The only issue that I can see with that is that the counting hand is just half a second before midnight. And that is not something that I can really get better, but that's where it is. One additional detail is that when I was servicing this watch, I noticed that the arbor port in the mainspring, for the mainspring, was actually quite worn. And this is something that these watches, as well as their 6000 series cousins, do suffer from occasionally. Not so much with these watches, but if it's one that was worn considerably, they can also have that issue of a worn arbor port. So I did jewel this, its lower mainspring arbor port. It actually has a jewel in it now, which is quite a nice addition. It is a considerable cost for those jewels and the time. So it adds to the value of this watch in terms of its longevity and its ability to perform at its best. So that's an additional benefit of this watch receiving service here, is that it has now received an extra jewel in its lower mainspring arbor port. So again, this is a JDM watch, so it's English kanji, and these have, let me just pull out to the first position. It's got this very well hidden small crown, which is kind of interesting. So you can do the day is turning the crown at the first position, and to change the date, to change the day, it's a push-in, much like a Pogue or a 6000 series. But you can see here it's the very cool English kanji, which is kind of neat. Everything functions exactly as it should. We've got chronograph functioning here, and you can do the flyback, which is neat. That's something you really can't do on a 6000 series. These are special in that way. But a great little watch. These are not not impossible to find, but I would say they're hard to find in good shape, and they are certainly very cool. It's a bit more diminutive than a standard Seiko chronograph like a Pogue. It's got a slightly smaller wrist presence. You can see it's a bit tall, but also slightly small in terms of its diameter. And those dimensions are on the website. So if you're looking for a really great green, yellow 5-sports speed timer for dining, have a look at the link in the description, and this one could be yours. All right, thanks for watching.